to tell the story of how is it that we're talking to you today. So it's always like that butterfly effect where you talk to one person who talks to another, who talks to another. Like you said, we did get to meet some of you out in Denver. Pete, my business partner, Pete, and I were lucky enough to get to talk to you all. What a great time. We also went for drinks afterwards and got to know some of you personally. And from that, we got to meet Angela. And that is why we're on this call today, is one thing affects the other. So a little bit just briefly about our firm, because I really want to get in. We have a lot of content today. Our firm is located in Columbus, Ohio. But what happened is about 8 years ago, we started working with one design build remodeler. And then you know how that works, where you get one referral and then one referral and that person says it. So now we have design build companies that we're helping all over the United States, in addition to a lot of the trades, from electricians to heating and cooling. And so with that, we've created this firm that really is specializing in this industry. So what happened is, as COVID hits us, we see that things are needed. We're talking to our clients every day, and we see what's going on. Well, one of the things, and this is where we came to Angela, is we see that now more than ever, marketing isn't the same. And Julie, I'm not going to steal any of your words from you. I'm just going to leave it right there. We knew that our team, our clients needed help in marketing. So there's Pete and I in the firm, and then another coach, Michelle, and we have Julie. Julie is our marketing director. And the reason I asked to introduce her is she would not tell you how great she is. Guys, she really knows what she's talking about. She is a guru. She helps our clients every day. They've hired her to do special projects. She works with us individually for our marketing. She actually has been a speaker for ActionCOACH nationally already. She is a phenomenal speaker, knows what she's talking about, and I want you to take notes. You're going to get a lot of information in a short amount of time. At the end, we'll tell you how you can contact us for more information. So Julie, with that, I want to introduce the guru of marketing, Julie Easterling, our marketing director. Go ahead, Julie.
All right. Well, thank you all. And thank you, Peg. And no, I wouldn't have said that. But and just so you know, my official job title in my job description is marketing magician. So you know, sometimes it takes a little magic to make all this happen. So what I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I've got a short presentation and not too much PowerPoint, I promise. There's some videos, and I have a great hobby of collecting bad marketing. So we're going to show you some bad marketing too. So if anybody, oh, hey, Angela, I can't share my screen. If I can, but while Angela's doing that, like Peg said, we call it BC before COVID and AC after COVID. And BC, we had all kinds of marketing that we did. We did direct mail, we did phone calls, we did, you know, direct selling, networking, social media, all those things. And BC, all of that worked. We tested, we measured, we did all that. And then guess what? It all doesn't work anymore. So we're going to have to change. So let me share my screen here. Let me make sure you have sound, because there's some good audio here. Thanks for being patient with me. So we're going to talk about steps in order to pivot. Oh, come on, PowerPoint. Of course I want to do that. Okay, so we're going to talk about pivoting our marketing. The big thing. Uh-oh. And along the way, if you have any questions, please feel free to unmute and ask. We're not super formal, or you can type it in the chat bar as well. And Peg will be my question collector, and we'll get those at the end, okay? So there's 12 easy steps. This 12 sounds like a lot, but please please don't think that this is rocket science, I promise. I just have a degree in public relations. I don't have a degree in neurology or rocket science or anything like that. So your clients have shifted, you have shifted, the market has shifted, and that means your marketing has to shift. The biggest thing of right now is it has to happen right now, because as you know, things change on an hourly basis, and people still want to hear from you. You still need to exist. And most of your marketing, as opposed to sales. So I always call marketing farming, and sales is the hunting. Sales, you're going to go out and get it, and right now, then you're going to get a sale. Marketing is a little bit, it's a marathon rather than the sprint of sales. So you're planting that seed, you're cultivating it, and you're growing and growing and growing, and eventually they're going to come to you. So right now, it's even more critical than ever to get yourself out in the marketplace and make sure that you're real. Make sure that people know that you haven't shut down permanently, that you're gonna come back, that they know that you're thinking about them. Your marketing needs to shift right now. I'll give you an example, and this happened to me. This is actual story a couple weeks ago. I got a phone call, and we've been working at home since March 13th in Ohio. We were one of the earliest shutdowns in Ohio. And we've been shut down. So I got a call a couple weeks ago, and I picked up my phone and this is Julie, how can I help you? And she said, hi, this is so-and-so, and I was just following up on the mailing that I sent you. Really? I'm like, oh my gosh, well, did you send it to the office? Yeah. I said, oh my gosh, I've been working from home for the past 6 weeks. I didn't get it, but now of course I'm like, ding, 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 I have to listen. I said, okay. I'm like, well, tell me about what I would have received at the office when I go back, because I have to pop in there for a minute and grab some mail. And she goes, oh my gosh, I'm just following up on our mailer. It was about a 5x7 manila envelope. It had a little worry doll in it. And we are a company that helps people work from home more efficiently. Well, I said, well, I'm so sorry. I've been working at home for 6 weeks and I didn't get it, but I will be happy to contact you as soon as I do, and I'll take a look at it. Okay, so there's a couple of things that she did right. BC. She sent a direct mailer. It was lumpy, so it would stand out in the inbox. When it had a worry doll in it, Peg got it, and she said it was adorable. And it stood out, it was different. Then she waited a couple of weeks. She picked up the phone to follow up on that direct mail piece. All of that works, right? She described the piece of mail that I got. She described what was in it and what she did. She was lovely on the phone.
Hey,
she really did a great job.
Leaving?
However, there was nobody in the office to get that direct mailer. That marketing had to change. So everybody wants to feel like they're being helped right now, and your marketing needs to focus more on empathy than on anything. Hey, we're all in this together. We can do this. Come on, like, this is our community and we're here for you. All of those things. Let me open my chat box here so I can see.
I think we're good. And on the chat box, Julie, I think that we need to have everybody mute. If everybody can mute, that would be helpful because we're getting a lot of feedback.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, shifting that message. Make sure that you're shifting to reflect the current situation in your state or in your municipality. That it's gonna look different. Make sure that people know that you're there for them, that you're serving, that you're helping. Now, we're all marketing. Everybody knows that, but it doesn't have to feel like they're being marketed to. It's okay to market. It's okay to keep yourself out there, but it has to feel a little more warm and fuzzy. Make sure that you're helping and giving before asking. Give first, then ask. Make sure you're adding value as well. We're going to look at a couple of videos. This is a throwback to 1978 or no, oh, sorry, 1971. This is during the Vietnam War. And just to show you that we've been doing this, marketers have been doing this a long time, shifting that message to reflect the current climate. And we all know it's from Coca-Cola. We all know that they're selling us a Coke, but this is a much happier way to do it.
I'd like to buy the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. I like to teach the world to sing. Sing with me. Perfect harmony, perfect harmony. I like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. That's the real thing. I like to teach the world to sing. Perfect harmony, perfectly. And I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. It's the real thing. Coke is what the world wants today. It's the real thing. Coke is what the world wants today. It's the real thing.
All right. I love that. And it just is really, really good. It really shows that we're bringing the world together. Now, would a bringing the world together marketing right now show people standing 6 inches apart? Probably not. However, we're going to move on to some other ones. So let's see if we can get my slide to advance.
I'd
Oh,
like
we don't want to watch that again. Okay, so this one is from Apple. You know, we all are sitting here with our iPhones and everything like that. And the reason I like this so much is it's attaching Apple to everything that's going on right now and all the happy things that people are seeing. So see how many Apple devices that you can count in here, because there's a lot.
say hi.
Pandemic has the possibility of bringing us together in ways none of us would have been able to predict or expect.
I'm so small, said the mole. Yes, said the boy, but you make a huge difference.
All right. It's so touching. You know, you go, oh my gosh, that's so good. But they're really just selling you a new iPhone. They really want you to do that. So, so here's one. I mentioned that I have a habit or hobby of collecting bad marketing. My husband even knows now to be like, Julie, this one's really bad. Look. And then we go find it and we have to pick it up. So this was actually still airing on March 19th, which was well after things were scary and shutting down and nobody was cruising and wanting to do that either. So, and we're going to talk about how they shifted their message pretty shortly after that.
No pictures. No posting. This is just for us.
I wanna feel just a little, just a little, just a little. Wanna feel just a little, little
Norwegian Cruise Line. Feel free.
So that was a great BC commercial. But you were showing people that they couldn't have what they wanted. And it really was insensitive. So about 2 weeks later, they came out with this video, which is a little more empathetic.
Ocean explorers have always relied on hope, inspiration, and wonder to guide their travels. As we navigate the current environment, we are all faced with unique challenges. But there is one universal theme. We are all uniting in hopes for brighter days ahead, through new ways of connecting, through inspiration, and through support. While we continue to adapt, this remains clear. We are all navigating new waters together. At Norwegian, we are powered by our guests, our travel partners, our dedicated crew, and our family members. We are thinking of each and every one of you, and together we will return to our favorite place, the ocean, stronger than ever.
Together.
Zajedno.
Skupa.
Ensemble.
Juntos. Vamos allá. Sama-sama. Juntos.
All right, I like that.
Ocean.
So they did better the second time. Yay! Woo! The big stark difference there, and I'm sure you can see it, is they were obviously selling cruises the first time. We're selling a cruise. Isn't this fun? Isn't this wonderful? And did I want to go on a cruise after that? Absolutely. Hey, second, though, customers, hey, we're still here. We're not going anywhere. Thank you to our employees for hanging out with us and staying consistent. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're going to be back. Those were the three messages that you take away from that second video. So make sure that your website is updated. Make sure, so we're going to move on to website. SEO is some letters that get thrown around there pretty often, meaning search engine optimization. Search engine optimization, the goal of that is to get you at #1 on Google. Bing, yes, but Google's the main player. And if you can do what Google says, you get to be at the top. If you're on the second page of the search bar, when you search remodelers remodelers near me, if you're on the second page, forget it. You want to be on that first page top spot. And there's some other ways that we can talk about with Google AdWords. We're going to talk about that later. But with your website, SEO is that marathon. It's going to take about 3 to 6 months for Google to index all of the words that you put on there. However, make sure when you're putting your website, make sure that there's new content that is pandemic related. Make sure that there is footers and headers. Make sure everything's correct. Make sure it's spelled correctly. And have somebody who you know is a great writer edit it for you. Have somebody else look at it, because sometimes you can get tunnel vision when you look at your own content. Make sure that you are putting tags on your pictures, tags on everything, and putting within the website the words that you know your customers are searching for to get to you. So for example, we're business coaches, leadership coaches, executive coaches. Our goal is for business owners to feel like you can do this, you can work less, you can make tons more money than you're already making with working less and having a happy team, right? That's our goal. Within that, I put the words on our website in the content, help for my small business. Now it's within a sentence that makes sense, but we put those words within our content, so when people search help for my small business, it pops up to us. So making sure that all of those things are in line, making sure that you're avoiding duplicate content. Don't put the same thing 800 times on your website because people stop looking. Make sure that it's mobile friendly. Access your website from someone else's mobile phone, not the one that you're editing on, because it will the cookies will track that you've already been there. So go have somebody else in your household or a coworker search and see if you can they come up with the same content you are. Making sure that you're putting links to content that you like. So giving credit where credit is due. Don't steal anybody else's information, and make sure that that imagery is really, really fresh. So on content marketing, content meaning what you put on your website, social media, live videos, interviews, it all pitches into this word content. So whatever you were doing, if you were posting once a week, if you were posting once a month, do double, triple, quadruple what you were doing before. Make sure people know that you're still out there. Even if you're kind of behind the scenes, I'm still here. Make sure that they know that you're still here, and make sure that that is focused on help. Blogging is a great way to establish yourself as an authority and get content that's shareable. You might have this fabulous idea about a new home idea, you know, how to make your space that you've been looking at for 2 months now, that is a 1954 house that's, you know, needs a little work. That's what I'm looking at right now. That make sure that when they're looking at that, they get some ideas and tips and tricks from you. So then they're like, oh my gosh, when I'm ready to remodel my house, who did I go to for as the expert? You can host a webinar. You can checklists, tip sheets, job aids, things like that. Make sure that you're out there and you are the expert. So when people are ready to set that up, you are the person that they think of. So this is, when I say this in marketing presentations, people laugh. Think Old MacDonald when you do your content, E-I-E-I-O. It's the easiest way to make sure that your content is something that people will click on, share, or otherwise engage with. So the first E is for entertainment. What are the things that you share on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn? The things that you share are things that make you laugh, the things that are like that you would watch again. Make sure that your content is stuff that people watch again. And I will say, every post that you put out doesn't have to do all 5 of these. So don't feel intimidated by that. Make sure that you inspire somebody. And that inspire is not to go like the Apple commercial, like, oh my gosh. That inspiration is an inspiration to do something. Inspire them to buy, call you, whatever you want them to do, click, see your offer, inspire. That's a call to action. And when you're talking about educate and inform kind of go hand in hand, but they're 2 different things. Educate is the how to, what to do, you as the authority. So teach them how to do something around their home. Teach them how to, you know, fix that creaky floor or something, like a DIY type thing. That's a how to, or how to pick paint colors, how to, something like that. You know what your audience is looking for. And ask a friend, phone a friend on that one. Hey, what do you wish I could teach you? You know what I do. What can I teach you? Inform is to use other people's content, sharing articles, the what is, who is, did you know about your industry? And the O, we borrowed this slide from ActionCOACH Corporate, which is a big thing, 83 countries, 1,100 franchisees, big. And they use the O of open dialogue. I use a different one. I use outrage. And people go, what? You want people to be mad about what you post? No. You want them, well, a little controversy here and there, you know, very strategically dripped in may help. However, the O of outrage, you want your audience to be dissatisfied with how their life is right now. So my dissatisfaction with the door frame that's right next to me that is detached, the trim work is detached from it, that needs to make me so angry that I call a handyman to come fix it, or that I get up and fix it myself. But I need to be dissatisfied with my current situation. somebody in, you know, in remodeling, somebody needs to be dissatisfied with the way their home is right now. And that's a delicate balance to create that dissatisfaction, but also know that you are putting on your superhero cape and you're here to help them with that dissatisfaction. So I remember Old MacDonald, E-I-E-I-O, make sure that that content is something that people will enjoy. And it doesn't all have to be perfect. It truly doesn't. Content development takes a long time. It takes experience. And if you like something that another company, like an article that somebody else put out, give them credit and share it. That's a way to get engagement as well. So blogging, that's again, creating yourself as the expert. Make sure it has a great headline, something that will make you read it. 40 characters is the ideal, and I'm not talking words, 40 characters, including spaces, is the ideal headline length. There's lots of very smart people who have researched this, and I'm gonna take their authority on that. And when I do 40 characters or 39, 41, 42, we actually do have a good engagement on our blogging. Make sure that lead is very, very compelling. Something that, like, I wonder, because a lot of people only read the headlines of what they share on Facebook. Have you noticed that? They don't actually read the content. Making sure that your 40 characters leads them to you and makes them want to click on it. 800 to 1500 words is a good guideline. Don't make it too long. Nothing, you know, you don't want anything 10 pages long because no one will read it. Make sure that those subsections are labeled. So make it point 1, point 2, point 3. So if they want to skip to point 2, let them do so. The blog is a great way to put those keywords and those search phrases. People always ask us, how do you have work-life balance as a business owner? And here's how we do that, right? So conversational, write like you talk. I want to write a blog that it's like me talking to you. Have somebody else read it too. Graphics and images, you can put pictures on there. Don't be obsessed about those graphics and images though, because the content and that lead, spend your time writing a great title. Strong call to action, you need to tell them what to do. Tell them to do something. Okay, I need you to call me if you're having trouble with your whatever. And give credit. So within that, whoever's your web developer, if you're using WordPress or anything like that, make sure you highlight that and make it linkable if you discuss somebody else's statistics. Video. Video is huge right now. There are 20 billion videos viewed on Facebook every year. That's kind of a lot. People like to watch a video. So there's lots of ideas of how you can do this. I would, if you have the capability, and YouTube and Facebook will do this for you, just be careful because they're sometimes wrong, is to put subtitles on it. Because 80% of what is watched on Facebook, which is the big player, is watched on mute. So they're at 80%. So if they can't hear you, then hear, meaning see you, then you might as well not have that content out there. YouTube does have a caption tool. Just you can go back in and edit that and make sure that it says what you want to say, because it's a computer hearing your voice and reading your voice. So make sure that, because you can go back in and edit that in the content creator. Make sure that people know you as real. Peg and Pete have a video series, and we talked when they first brought me on, we talked about doing a video series, and they laughed at me because I said, don't make it a stuffy suit and tie video series. And they said, well, oh, okay. And I said, don't make it staged. It just doesn't need to be behind a super professional background, you know, with a professional videographer. Because if you know Peg and Pete at all, you know that they are super fun. They love to have a cocktail. They love to laugh, and they're a good team, and they play off of each other. And that is part of their strategy with coaching too, is you get our entire team. But I wanted that to be projected in their video series. And so we created a video series that is Happy Hour with Pete and Peg. So they sit on Peg's patio, which is how you would normally sit with Peg. And they sit on Peg's patio, they share a bottle of wine, and they talk about business challenges. And they laugh and they banter, and it's hilarious and awesome. And the blooper reel is more funny than you could imagine. But I want, because that's who they are, I want it to project who they are. So you could do like a 2-minute video. You could do a 15-minute video. You can vary that length, and not every day has to be a 15-minute overproduced, script reading production. You can sit, Brad Sugar's the founder of ActionCOACH. He does drive time, and he sits in his Lamborghini and he drives around the city of Las Vegas, which is where he lives, with his phone in a little carrier thing, and he talks about business. Well, now obviously he's not doing that. He calls it driveway time, and he does a 5-minute video, and he talks about, and there's some great nuggets of information within driveway time. All of you can do that. Film it on your iPhone. You can get a cheap tripod. They're like $20 on Amazon, and you can sit with your phone, do a video series. It's super. And with any marketing, you want to test and measure. Make sure that you're getting views from that. If you're not getting views from that, then it's not working. So build on what your customers respond to. So if you have a big, like Happy Hour with Pete and Peg was a big success. So we did another one, and then we did another one, and now it's a series. So build on what your customers respond to and keep doing more of it, because then that's something that's working for you.
Julie, can I ask a question?
Sure.
So if you have videos on your website, does it increase your SEO, like as far as capturing some of those keywords? Is there any benefit to the captioning or subtitles? Does that help?
The subtitling is not going to help with SEO. However, video makes people stay on your website. If you look at your Google Analytics, okay. Video makes people stay. So it makes them not bounce it makes them bounce much less. It makes your bounce rate a little bit lower.
Okay, but the content of that video, the words there, that doesn't help.
Correct, but you can take the content of that video and turn it into a blog, and then it'll count.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so you don't have to recreate this content over and over again. It will work. All right, so social media is a hot topic because lots and lots of people are on it. Lots and lots of people participate in it. There is a multitude of social media platforms, and you need to focus your attention where your customers are. Facebook tends to have an older clientele, even though people as young as 13 are on it, but it tends to go towards the older crowd. And I'm 43. I use Facebook. It's not old. LinkedIn tends to have people who are the largest percentage of 55 to 65-year-old and professional, and it has the highest income level. It has the highest percentage of 100,000 plus, and I can share those statistics with you. We can do a follow-up, and I'll share all those statistics with you, so you can use that to pick where you're going to put your focus. Make sure that everybody can share your content. Like Instagram is not easy to repost, so you don't have to be as careful with Instagram with shareability. Instagram tends to be a younger clientele. It's very visual. It's all about pictures. If you don't have a picture, you can't post on Instagram. And Twitter is becoming fast there are a lot of people who are only on Twitter. And that's very focused on news, politics, entertainment, things like that. But businesses, that's a great way to do customer service. It's a great way to get attention for customer service, good and bad. So if you do have Twitter, make sure you're monitoring that. Like, make sure it's right now, because you need to be able to respond to a customer complaint or praise. Always respond to praise as well. And so hashtags, people always ask me about hashtags. Hashtags are a file folder. It's a way to find something out in the social media land. So hashtags put it into a focused file. People follow hashtags. So anytime there is something, I follow the hashtag as seen in Columbus, because I want to know what's happening within my community. So anytime that something pops up on hashtag as seen in Columbus, it comes through my feed. Social media feeds are super smart, and they didn't used to be. And now they're a whole lot smarter, which means we have to be even smarter. So I'll take Facebook as an example, because that's where a lot of businesses are doing their marketing. Facebook has a really complex algorithm that determines what you see in your feed. Facebook does that so you see what is important to you, but Facebook gets to determine what is important to you. So if your audience is not engaging, meaning like commenting, liking, commenting, and sharing with your content, they're going to no longer see your stuff if they're not doing that. So getting them to engage with your content is the way to make your posts stick in their news feed. If you notice, if you're on Facebook, you have people who have, I have like 900 friends or something on Facebook. So I'm seeing posts from the same 20 people. Now, am I still friends with them? Absolutely. It's the same way for the businesses that you like or follow. You need them to engage. So you want to make sure that engagement is urgent. You want to make sure that you are having a strong call to action again. There's a lot of consistencies through all of this. Make sure you want them to do what you want them to do right now. And that's what you need to make sure that comes across in your post. Don't just, the term is to be a spammer, meaning throwing just stuff out there all the time. It seems like noise. Have you ever heard, everybody has one, a Facebook friend that's an oversharer? Today I went to the store and I bought meat for $3.99 a pound, and then I came home and I swept my floors, and then I fed my kids dinner, and then I watched NCIS, and then I went to bed. Well, okay, that's cool, but you need to make sure that your business is putting out quality content. Frequent, but quality. Pose a challenge, do a live Q&A, say, okay, we're going to do a giveaway. Today we're going to do a giveaway. We're going to give a $100 gift card or a free design fee or something. And here's how you enter. Like this post, tag a friend, go over to Instagram and like us on there, and follow us on LinkedIn. Okay? You just bought yourself some followers. And because they engaged with your post, now they're going to see your stuff over and over again. And the 90-10 rule is really smart. You need to make sure that you know where your clients live, where your customers live, and put the majority of your attention towards that. So, and then 10% of the time, you can actually duplicate the content. So we put the same content on Facebook and LinkedIn. It's just tailored a little bit towards that audience, but it's the same stuff we're talking about. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. And measuring your progress, seeing what those engagement numbers are, seeing how your post did. Did you get a big reach organically or through an ad? Organically means people without paying for it got to you. And just measure your progress. And like I said, the things that work, do that again. And then, because the more people that see your stuff, the more leads you get. And you can experiment among other platforms. You never know. You never know. Somebody's gonna pick up on that and do that and engage with your content. So here's my bad marketing for the day. This one I howled. So this was posted on the We Love Dublin, Ohio. Dublin is a suburb of Columbus, and I'm a member to the Dublin Chamber of Commerce, or we are. And this is Dublin Chamber of Commerce's site that allows businesses to advertise that they're still open, or we're coming, or, you know, it's Dublin Chamber of Commerce. So the public can do this, but also it's really for chamber members to promote their stuff. So I blacked out his last name. His name is Matt, and he posted it from his personal page. Okay. Anybody know you can unmute yourself if you see the problem with this ad, why I laughed.
Closed on Sunday.
Closed on Sunday.
What's the company?
Exactly. What do you do? We have no idea. Okay. And then if you see at the bottom, their webpage isn't even something, it doesn't even tell us what they do. It's a jeweler. I had to look. But so this ad was perfect for him because he knew what he did for a living. So this is my lesson with this ad for, bless his heart, little Matt, and he owns a small jeweler in Dublin. And he
which is going to stay small.
It's going to stay small. He needs to hire a better marketing director. But I thought, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm saving this. So I screenshotted it to use later. And so the lesson is, have someone else read your content before you post it. So everybody knows, and if you don't, this is your homework, is to micro target, meaning I know exactly who I want as a customer. I want somebody between these ages with this income level, somebody who's male or female, somebody who has kids or doesn't have kids, somebody who owns a dog, somebody who likes skiing, somebody who is a dentist, somebody who is, right? Micro target. Make sure it's super, super targeted. Know who that customer is. Find somebody you know who is that and ask them to look at your ad. If it appeals to them, awesome. Then post it. And then have somebody read it for proofreading as well. So, like, for example, Pete is a little older than me, and he's a guy, and he has a different personality profile than I do. I'm an I, obviously, which is, if you're familiar with DISC, D-I-S-C, and if you're not familiar, we'll come teach you to do that. Peg is brilliant at teaching DISC. And I is an influencer, somebody who's really social, likes people, fed by people. D is a very direct, somebody who's like, no nonsense, all business, likes to be in charge, leader. And that's Pete. So if I am trying to reach somebody who is his age, male, business owner, who is a dominant profile, I'm like, hey, Pete, look at this. And he's like, yeah, that's stupid. And then I change it because I need my audience to be the person. I need somebody from my audience to read my content. So boosting Facebook posts is super easy and it's cheap. No advertising is cheap. What, Julie? Boosting Facebook posts is cheap. So set a budget, create your target audience. Facebook will let you target down to like what they had for dinner last night. It's really, really, really targeted. I'm running a social media campaign for one of our clients, and they're a dental lab. So they make dentures and partials and crowns and all that stuff. So their target audience, and we talked about this before I posted it, what their target audience is: dentists, dental office managers, maybe even a dental hygienist, somebody who is dissatisfied with their current dental lab situation and they want to switch dental labs. right? So we posted we're open. It was a really compelling picture. Our client took a fabulous picture and it was really cool. So first of all, I had to ask what it was, but I'm sure Dennis would know what it was. And it was like impressions in a sink. So we wanted them to know that we're open. So I boosted that Facebook post to anybody whose job title was dentist, dental hygienist, or dental office manager. Somebody who was 25 to 65 plus, male or female, within a 50-mile radius of her location. And so targeting it that specifically reached 6,700 people. Okay. We ran it for 7 days. It cost her $35. So that is a very, very reasonable advertising fee for 6,700 people to reach within 50 miles of her location. If you Facebook is pretty smart, and if you put together a post that Facebook thinks could be boosted, it'll give you a little button that says boost post. It's on the screen there. And then it'll walk you through the process. Okay, who do you want to target? Just keep in mind, you want to target it really, really small, because you want the right person to see that. So in the case of the dental lab, my hope with seeing that is somebody who is a dentist who is annoyed because their dental lab isn't quite open yet and they can't fix the crown of the patient that they're sitting there in front of, or they were late delivering a denture, or they were, that they're seeing that post and they didn't have to click on it, do anything. Now we tripled our engagement within 1 day on that post. So test and measure. And my hope is that somebody would see that and go, oh my gosh, there is another dental lab. I'm gonna go try them. And that's the reason right away, at least get them real in their minds. Like, I didn't even think about that other dental lab. And then the next time their dental lab screws up, then they're gonna call us. So database, and everybody, I hope, has some kind of email marketing system. You can use MailChimp, and there's a lot of them out there. And creating that database, make sure that if they engage with your website that you're collecting their email right away. Because if you send them an email a week later saying, hey, sign up for a newsletter, they're not going to do it. You got to collect that email right away. Make sure your opt-in is easy. Make sure marketing is easy for the end user. So have somebody try it that is not you. And make sure that your email content teaches them something and it's not too long. Oh my gosh, long emails with a bad subject line, delete, delete, delete. It goes right into spam. Make sure that if people are not opening your emails, and all of the database and system management and sales management softwares, HubSpot, MailChimp, all those, they all tell you what your open rate is. See if people are actually opening it. If you didn't get a good open rate, then change your subject line up. Make sure it's something that is really engaging. And again, if you get a good engagement, do that again. Do more of it. Do what you're good at. You can delete people off of your list that don't participate, and make sure that people are getting a welcome email when they first sign up to your email. Don't do your own, and here's a word of caution, do not do your own email list. You will get booted from, you will get into spam and they'll actually shut your email address down. So rule of thumb is if you're sending to more than 10 people at a time, make sure that there's an unsubscribe or opt out. And if you're using any of those software systems, those CRMs, they're going to do that for you. This is more about testing and measuring. The General Data Protection Act is just saying, don't be a spammer. Don't send people things they don't want. Make it clear who you are. Again, put your company name in there. If you're getting that as a stranger, make sure, or somebody who was new, who's not used to seeing your name, make sure that you're doing that over and over and over again.
Julie, what's a good open and click rate?
You want around, 10% open rate is okay. You know, you're going to send a whole lot. It's a numbers game. You're going to send a whole lot out to get a little bit back. But if you're getting a good open rate and open rate and open rate, and it's going, I more think of it as a continuum of going up. If you're increasing, then people are interested in what you have to say.
Got it.
So make sure that that open rate is increasing as well. Make sure that it's personalized. Dear Julie, thank you so much. For some reason, that works. People think it's like, oh my gosh, they wrote me an email. Thank you. Make sure that loyal customers are getting VIP content. Make sure they're getting special discounts, referrals, referral credit, things like that, that you're thanking people for being a frequent buyer. So have a frequent buyer list and make them get special stuff. Landing pages are something that you can on your website, and this is a way to track that your marketing is working. So have you ever, anybody have SiriusXM? You hear commercials all the time, and it'll say, okay, go to our website, www.mybusiness/CNN. So that landing page is so a marketer can see that people who listen to that CNN commercial went to their website for that reason. So the promo codes are landing pages. So making sure that it's easy, but don't make your website so complicated that when people are listening to it on the radio or they see it briefly, that they can't go back to it. So our website is through, we have to host it through ActionCOACH, but it's takeactionbusinesscoaching.actioncoach.com. Well, that's way too complicated. So I have it actioncoachcolumbus.com, and then everything else points back that way. So your whoever hosts your website or does your website development, that's a super easy fix. You can do it through GoDaddy. GoDaddy customer service will do it over chat, and it takes 5 seconds. But anything, they go to actioncoachcolumbus.com, that's easy. It points right back to all those more complicated URLs. Make sure it's mobile friendly, and you can also create shortened links. So if it's something that you just need to click on, you can go to websites like bit.ly, and you can shorten that website so it's really, really short. So you're not getting this huge, long URL in an email. So Google AdWords is so incredibly valuable. Remember in the very beginning that I said, see, we're circling back all the way to the beginning, talking about Google AdWords and how valuable that is to be the very tippy top #1 spot in Google. Guess what? We're going to pay for it. Now, Google AdWords is not the cheapest thing out there, but it is extremely effective. Google AdWords, if you go to ads.google.com, you can set up your website as a Google ad, and you can connect that account with Google Analytics. So that test and measure, make sure it worked. See if people are actually clicking on your website after you do the ad. You pay per click. So you'll see often in marketing PPC, pay per click. So it's a, you can either pay per click or pay per impression. So impression is somebody that saw it, and a pay per click is somebody who clicked on it. Our Google AdWords is set up for pay per click. So we pay, and it's a super complicated algorithm that says how much you pay per click. It's not like $1 every time. It all depends on how many people, because you can target, say, okay, I want my ad to run from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And I want it to run when only in the 4th week of the month. And so if there are other people who are that targeted, who are running the ad, if there's more people to click on, you pay less. If you're the only game in town, then you pay more. But it's really easy to use. Just make sure your ad is really, really effective. It says what you want to say in like 10 words. You have 2 seconds because everybody will just slip right by. And then make sure that your Google ad is pointing to something on your website that you want people to do or see or buy. Okay, so make sure that it's easy. You have I think they said that the average human attention span is 7 seconds. Okay, that's not very long. So make sure you say what you want to say in 7 seconds and then make them stay. So that's good for video too. You have 7 seconds. We all have the attention span of a gnat. So the conversions, meaning we want them to actually do something. So a conversion measured by Google is somebody who clicked on your ad, they went to your website and they clicked somewhere else. So the cost per click, pay per click, focus on impressions. That means impressions mean more people see you. So they may not be clicking, but they know you're real. They know that you're an authority when they're searching for remodelers. Make sure that you're optimizing your landing pages and review the search terms report. You can go in at Google AdWords and you can see what people were searching for to get to you. And make sure that you're doing the things that people are actually searching for. So don't use like industry terms that only somebody in your industry are going to use. Use what the average layperson who's your potential customer is going to use.
Julie,
so what's that?
Real quick, I see Neil has a hand up and I'm not sure if we've already answered his question or if he has a question.
Neil, do you have a question? I'd be happy to answer it.
And then the other question I have is the Google AdWords. What makes, so I'll give you an example. Looking for curtains and a rug for my office.
Yeah.
And went to a few sites yesterday. Today, when I jumped on another website, all of the things I was looking at yesterday are now on the sides.
Yep. Yep, you pay for that too. That's through Google AdWords.
Okay.
And Google places your ad within other web pages that have authorized advertising, so blogs, things like that. So like interior design blogs. It was probably something regarding that. It's really targeted and honestly a teensy bit creepy, but it does target your ad. In fact, I screenshotted one not too long ago and I'm like, look guys, we're on this. And it wasn't even something that I picked, but Google will place your ad throughout other things. So as we finish up here,
Julie, on this page right here, as we finish up, I've had a lot of clients ask me, in fact, Chris, if Chris is on right now, right before we're on this, it's, see how you say shift your message?
Yep.
Talk a little bit about what you mean, like BC, before Corona and after Corona. Talk a little bit like.
So I actually have an example. I've got to, let me click out of here and I'll put this contact page back up. The QR code scans directly to Peg's and my contact information. You can connect with us on LinkedIn and things like that. And then I will go back to this. Hang on a second. So one of our remodelers that's a client, it's the Cleary Company, George Cleary. They did a fabulous Facebook video and I have it all queued up here. Hopefully this will work.
Just won 2 National Cody Awards.
They did. And they also won in North America, Best Company Culture in North America for 2020.
Yes, that was at our ActionCOACH Business
Excellence Forum. Yeah.
Yes.
There were 56 finalists and they won it. We were pretty proud of them. So this is something they put out May 11th. This is their Hey, We're Still Out Here video. And I thought it was really, really great. So I'm going to play it for you.
What I like about you, you hold me tight. Tell me I'm the only one, wanna come over tonight.
So
hi, oh my, you're my.
My children think this is the funniest video on earth, so it keeps playing over and over again. Let me stop my sharing here. I don't know what is happening. We get some feedback here. But I like how Cleary did that. You know what? This isn't so bad. This is not so bad. We can still do this. We like this new system. Here's how we're going to do this. We're going to do a virtual walkthrough. We're going to do all of these great things, and we're going to still help you. We're going to have a great design process, and it's still okay. We're all going to be okay. And they were 6 feet away in their on-site meeting, and they were modeling that good social distancing behavior. Be aware of what pictures you post of your team. Make sure that people are wearing masks. Making sure that you're standing 6 feet away, that you're really being socially responsible. And because you never know who you're gonna make angry with that. So, but yeah. So, oh, and then on another note on the Cleary video, they did an awesome job. Be careful about using somebody else's song. You'll get booted from YouTube in 1 second. Like the copyright police will be all over you. So you can use royalty-free music in a lot of your video editing programs, like like iMovie and things like that. They have royalty-free music that you can use. It's pretty easy. All right. So on that,
I don't see, Julie, they weren't wearing masks, I don't think, in that video that
they weren't.
Which I think if I had to go over, I would have recommended that.
Yeah.
So does anybody have any questions?
Getting feedback here.
So Julie, I have a question, and it may have been, I came in a couple minutes late.
Sure.
So are you going to be able to send PDFs of the talking point slides for us?
I'll be happy to slides for you. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. And then, so I've got a list of things we need to send you. I need to send you the statistics on social media, so you can figure out who you. I'm writing this down because I will forget. And the slides. Perfect.
Great. Thank you.
Perfect. And we want to, and Peg, did you want to do 1 hour of free coaching for anybody who's on the call?
Oh, yes. What we'll do, which we usually don't do that for everyone, but Angela, you know that during this time we've been committed, and this is ActionCOACH globally has done this in our firm, that if anybody would like a complimentary conversation with me, Pete, and or Julie, or both, or a combination, just reach out to us and we can schedule something for you.
Yeah.
And we'll be following up for each chapter that's on. We'll follow up with you guys with the webinar recording from today and the slides. Julie just mentioned sharing, and how to reach out to Coach Pete and Peg and Julie, so you can get in touch with them if you want to. But this was great, very good information, a lot of great tips. So thank you both very much.
Thank you.
So we want you to have your homework is that you need to figure out who your exact target is. And then you guys need to follow us on Facebook, and we'll follow you back and start sharing your stuff. Is that fair?
Very fair. Julie,
okay.
We had another chapter presentation where the presenter was talking about creating your avatar. And your avatar is just the like you said, your very specific target client. And you may have several of those, but you kind of write that up, trying to completely identify that target client, the messaging that would be specific to that target client. So that came to mind when you were like talking about micro-targeting.
Yep, that micro-target, and assign a person to that, somebody you know. And that somebody that you know or trust or love, like my dad, I use him all the time. I'm like, Dad, read this. And he will, and somebody who you know will be, before I came to Pete and Peg, I worked with Macy's, and I did corporate sales, and I did personal shopping and styling. So I was working with personal brands and marketing people through their style. And I used to say, it's like shopping with your super honest best friend. Somebody who's going to be really honest with you. Pick that super honest best friend who's your, who fits within your target, and have them look at your content before you send it out there to the world. It really, really helps. And I know it sounds silly, but it really, really helps.
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
I have a chat bot on my website because I was trying to have like call to action, somebody do something when they get to the land. So basically what happens, it looks to me like people just like click on it when they're looking at my website, but I have the ability for them to fill out an email form, but they never end up doing anything. Is there something I should do with the chatbot?
So you have to be thoughtful with the chatbot about what your chatbot is saying and how quickly that follow-up is with your chatbot. So people don't want to wait and they want it to be easy. They're typing that something into the chatbot because they want to know something right now. So chatbots are very effective if the follow-up is there within minutes. So if you don't have anybody available to man it, make sure you say that, because somebody's gonna, if they don't get a response from your chatbot right now, it'll be like, yeah, moving on. So you want to make sure that if you say, okay, our offices are closed, we will be reaching out to you first thing tomorrow morning, and then do what you say you will do, then that chatbot becomes more and more effective. Because they're going to move on to another, they're probably searching, if they're just searching through like either through Google for a remodeler in your area, they're searching and they're going to go down that list and find something that appeals to them. So you want to make sure that online presence is really, really strong, that you have lots of positive reviews, that you're responding to those reviews right away. Thank you so much for your kind words. We really enjoyed working on your project. And then you're also responding to the negatives, letting them know exactly what you're doing about the negative feedback. Thank you so much. I'm going to follow up with my employee right away. I'll reach out to you, and I would love to invite you back for a consultation with me. Those kinds of things, responding right away, because people want an instant response. And social media allows them to have that instant response, but they're getting it themselves. But the chatbot has to have somebody human behind it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does that help?
Yes, to some degree. I mean, I do have something that says the hours that we could speak. So I'm not going to be able to be available whenever somebody clicks on. So that's why I have that. I also do have the ability to have something pre-written, which I always do send. I send, please provide me with your email address and contact information and town you're in, and I'm not getting a response. So I'm sending that, and then I'm not getting the response. So
okay, we'll change that response up and see if it works. Test it.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Oh, you're
Good
welcome.
for you, Wendy, for having a chat bot.
Yeah, that's good. Chatbots are good.
I'm trying.
Excuse me, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay, can we get all this hour? It was so interesting and it's wonderful. And is it any way you're gonna send us synopsis of what you just did? I mean, I took picture of the questions, but then the answers, I would like to show that to my marketing girl, and maybe one day we can invite you here. But is it possible to send us, if you have it, any of these answers that you had to the questions?
Sure. And Angela, I think you're sending out a recording.
I am. The only negative is that if you did not register, and you just logged in, you need to send us your email. But Regina with the New York chapter, Kathy with the Cleveland chapter, and I will be sending it out to the DC chapter. So if you aren't on their distribution list, you may want to put your email in the chat box, and I'll capture it real quick.
Yeah, when I registered, I put my email twice. So
yes, well then you might get it twice.
And I received something already, but
Yay.
confirmation.
Okay,
I have.
Good.
So maybe
And if
you can send us.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you want to talk about your specific situation, our coaching team, we can absolutely do that 1 hour of free coaching, and get one of our coaches on with you and with me, and we can all talk about it. I mean, that's certainly something that's a possibility.
Okay, that's great. Okay, we're gonna get back in the office soon, and we'll talk with the marketing girl that she works on that with us.
Well, you keep marketing though in the meantime.
Sorry.
Keep marketing in the meantime.
Yeah, we have to. Yes, thank you. Okay, great. So.
All right.
Any other questions? All right, I'm gonna right now put my email in the chat box, and if anyone is concerned that they may not have registered or I don't have your email, feel free to email me, and I will make sure you get a copy of today's presentation. Of course, I just sent it to Roy and not to the whole group, so let me try that again, forgive me. But it is executive@NARYMetroDC.org, and we'll make sure that you get this from us, or you can also contact, you see the Action Coach information right there. One of us will make sure you get this material.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That would be great. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you, the QR code, if you use your camera app on your iPhone, you could just scan that right there and it'll take it directly to our contact information. So it's super easy.
You're so fancy.
Oh, this is what we do.
I know.
Easy. It has to be easy.
Right. Any other questions for Peg or Julie? All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time. And Julie and Peg, I'll be in touch after the webinar, okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Be safe.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Julie, will you hit the stop record button since you're the host?
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Yeah.